Okay, welcome back to episode 15 of the Jodas Hour. Today I have both Betsy and Kristy Norko. They're going to be going to Bentley next year for lacrosse. They're both CCL All-Stars, and Betsy took home the almost said finals MVP yet again. Watching too much Celtics lately. Took home the CCL Cup MVP. But so, to first start this off, I want to ask both of you guys. Recently ended a little bit of a revenge tour, obviously. Going to be a little bit of a sneak peek of that in the documentary that's coming out in a couple weeks. Might include a little bit of clip right here.
We started here, it's ending here.
Yeah,
Girls
we were ending the exact same way we started.
Sir.
With the Norkos, we go out, and with the Norkos, we started off.
Yes,
this will
sir.
be a great documentary. Check in later. We'll come back to that, though, after. But no, I want to ask you guys. Last year, obviously, ended the season for the CCL Cup. Mm-hmm. Obviously, still playoffs and stuff like that. But for the CCL Cup season, that ended with a loss to Austin Prep on your home field. This season for the CCL Cup ended with a win 16-3 over that same Austin Prep team. How'd that feel, and how was that journey over the last year for both of you guys?
Yeah. That was great. It was really fun to, beat a team that it was more than a game at that point. Like we were talking about it is as a team when we were going into it, like they took something from us unrightfully, in a game that, if you were there and you heard about it, you'd be like, how'd they lose that game? Like, there's no way. Like, we beat them by so much the year before the first game, and then we come and play them in this cup, and we're like, it's in the back. Like, there's no way. And then you have these other factors that make you play 7v3 or 7v4 at one point, and just the game was not the game. The game was not lacrosse. And for them to take that away from us and storm our field, and we all kept that in the back of our head. So when it came for the time to play them again, first in the regular season, and we won like 10-6, so it wasn't as dominant, but it was a win, and everyone was happy. And I remember standing there as we won, and we all were excited. Everyone cheered and whatever, and we came as a team. And our coach was there, and he started to talk, and I kind of interrupted him, but I said, I said to everyone, be happy that we just won this game, be excited because it was a huge win, but then put it back in the back burner because in 2 weeks we got another rematch right here. And that's the one that matters. That's the one that counts. And to then come again 2 weeks later and win, like you said, Joe, like 16-3, just a dominant win, and to put them back in their place and leave them, let them say bye-bye to the CCL and go up to the ISL and play in Prep School League, that was the first of their many losses coming for them in the ISL. So it was fun to ship them off, to complete the revenge tour, and to do it in a fun way that we'll never forget. That was a game that I'll personally never forget. So it was a lot of fun.
I don't think there's a better way to end a revenge tour than sending them to a different conference.
Yes.
Once you kick them out of their home conference, basically, we came later than Austin Prep in that conference.
Oh, yeah. Right? Oh, no. Austin Prep has been there for a while. They found Fee and came in. They're like, oh, Fian's beating us in too many sports. We got to leave.
You guys like the conquistadors, basically. Taking over different areas. Yeah, now you control that entire CCL factor. What about you, Kristy? What would you say about this last year?
I mean, coming off a game where, as Betsy said, playing 7v3 in girls lacrosse, I mean, that is ridiculously unheard of. Like, when we described games to, our club coaches and other people, and they're like, what happened, right? In the final, it was 14-11. We only lost by 3, which, again, is unheard of, to be down by that many players and only lose by 3 goals and still put some goals on the board with only 3 attackers on the field. I mean, to win that game after what it felt like the ref or a certain individual was really impacting the way the game played out, and just to see that was it was really difficult to process and understand, and be able to accept that some individual came into the game, and we love refs. I mean, the reason why we can play this game, and without them we wouldn't be able to compete, but to have somebody come in and impact that game and have that many yellow cards handed out, whether it to be to players and parents, was just, it was heartbreaking. And to sit there and watch it unfold. And the game was so close throughout the whole CCL Cup last year. I mean, there was never a point where, until the end, where it felt like, oh my God, we are going to lose this. We're going to lose this game. But to harness all those emotions from that game, and all the tears that were shed by our entire team, and use that as motivation for the whole off season, into this whole season, and to be able to capitalize on that revenge tour. What we made it that revenge tour, and we were strictly business with it. Like, we were strictly business. We went into that game, we took care of business from the first draw to the last draw, and we stepped on the gas. We didn't let them breathe to bring home that cup. A lot of great emotion to bring it back for those seniors who graduated last year and everybody in our program to take that crown again. And then like you said, I mean, ship them off, packing, leaving the conference to hand them with their first loss to start their new conference record was awesome.
Yeah, I think that you mentioning having the seniors in the crowd, actually watching you guys win that, probably gave a little bit extra drive too. There was an original version of this interview. Got corrupted, got a little bit of Dante Bruschi.
Okay.
If I found the audio, you could hear me saying that we didn't want to get Dante Bruschi. It got Dante Bruschi, but it's okay. We're going to do a little bit of a speed round right now to knock out those points that we obviously covered during the natural interview. Might be a little unnatural right now, but it's okay. Let's start off first. You guys want to talk about the take it personal?
Yeah. So that was like a big thing, which I would have forgotten unless you just mentioned. But yeah, so that was a big motive that we said. I remember saying to our team where it was kind of a thing where I heard whether someone said it, but I just remember that's the way I'm going to do it. That's how I'm going to motivate people. You know, I can motivate people through, I found videos from last year of them storming the field or them screaming like they had just won the national championship after their first goal. And I found every little thing, and I showed them this video, brought back every emotion I could that people had seen. And then I knew I had to find another level too as well for those kids that weren't necessarily on that field that last year. And that's when, like you said, the take it personal came. I remember standing in our circle and just saying to everyone, if they beat you to a ground ball, if they decide to dodge on you, think you're a weak defender, if they decide to let you try to go to cage on them because they don't trust your left hand, your right hand, if they want to push you right because they don't trust your left, every single thing they do, if they want to try to push you because they can't beat you because you're faster than them, take every little thing personal and use it as motivation. If you drop a ball, fine, take it personal. If you don't think that an outside factor is treating you the way they should, take it personal. Change it to the game. Make a difference in the game so that you win. And there's nothing that you do walking away from that game where you wish you did it different for a different outcome.
Yeah, I think when you look at the story of this final season, it's really funny seeing the similarities between it and The Last Dance, obviously, that documentary. Obviously, Michael took it personal in that. So, in this scenario, Betsy, you'd be Michael Jordan. Kristy, you'd be Scottie Pippen.
Yes, sir.
I'd be Dennis
right.
Rodman getting saved from the parties by you guys.
Of course.
You guys would find me in Vegas in a hotel room. You guys saved me, bring it back to reality.
It'd be like, yo, we need Joe.
Yeah, Coach, he's here. He's right here, Coach.
He's here. We got him.
Yeah, we got him. He's fine. No, don't look at him. He's fine. He's
good.
But no, it's awesome seeing all those different connections, basically, because I started filming it off that documentary as The Last Dance, as we talked about, like a little bit of a joke. Yeah. The fact that many facets actually come in is pretty cool to see, because obviously leading scorer right here, perfect secondary player, even Kristy, can do a little bit of every single thing on the field. Yeah. Dennis Rodman, the personality.
That's exactly. That's all we needed. That's all we needed.
Then we got a Steve Kerr, throw it in there.
Yeah, we got a little bit of a Steve Kerr.
Yeah, whatever we need.
You can be Coach Vitelli, I guess.
Yeah,
Steve Kerr can be coach. Yeah. But no, it's really cool seeing that stuff. We're going to continue through the speed round a little bit. Yeah. Obviously, mentioned, I keep saying obviously, like you guys will have seen this. You guys have not seen any of these clips. Obvious to us in this room. Yeah. Well, the ref for that game, I'll just basically run through this. Had a knee brace on, was a college ref for a high school game. That is why it led to so many different cards. One of those cards was given on a parent, actually, of the crowd who was getting a little bit too into the game. And that parent, his wife, was in the booth with me, right next to me. I saw her looking at her phone saying, please don't let that be him. Please don't let that be him. Waiting for the text message to pop up. Saw the phone start ringing in her phone for a second. She looked back up. It was him. Yeah. It was him in the end. But we basically got those taken away, like those few moments taken away where it was the raw emotion caught on camera. So we're not going to be living in the past anymore. Yeah. We're going to keep going. But before we keep going, got to make sure we don't get Dante Bruschi this time. First break of the episode. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back to episode 15 of the Jodas Hour with Betsy and Kristy Norko. They're going to be playing lacrosse at Bentley next year. It'll be pretty awesome to see you there. Excited to see how that development goes. We will be posting about that. As I mentioned in the last interview, once you come in for one of these interviews, your Joda's Hour career is not done. You get posted on the Instagram, all that stuff. We keep up with you. We're not going to forget you guys. So it's going to be awesome to see that in the future. But I wanted to ask you guys stepped in the role as captains this year. You guys were obviously have been playing for a long, long time. You mentioned during the little bit of corrupted video that there was a point, I believe it was 2017, where you guys would come and watch. Maybe that 2015, maybe?
Yeah.
2015, yeah. I remember it was one of the odd years.
Yeah.
You're starting not to make sense anymore now.
Got it, Joe.
Yeah, 2015. But yeah, no, 2015, you guys watched, obviously, a couple players play lacrosse. Was that the first year they instilled the program?
No. So, I mean, the program started in 07.
07.
And it was started by the former head coach and assistant coach. They started the program in 07 for one of their daughters. And it's grew to what it is now, obviously. And our cousin, she played with the coach who started the program. She was 2015. Our cousin Lizzie Dietz, captain of the female lacrosse team in 2015. And growing up, we were in 5th grade or middle school, whatever it was. Maybe 5th grade, whatever it was. Whatever the year was. Anyways.
Yeah, you want to know a little trick, Kristy, that I actually found out? For only our year this works. Going by the year, like the final digit in the year, that's what grade you were in. 2022, 12th grade. 2021, 11th grade. 2020, 10th grade. That's weird, right?
That's insane.
That is weird. Did not realize that for so long.
So fifth.
Yeah,
Wow.
5th grade.
Joe, that mind blown.
Yeah,
mind blown.
Crazy to find out.
Mind blown.
Crazy.
Anyways, so yeah, 2015, we were in 5th grade, and being youth lacrosse players, young lacrosse players, and watching somebody so close and so important in your life to have that role. I mean, that was really the point where Betsy and I, it became something we dreamed of. Like, we saw our cousin in those shoes, and to see her in those shoes as a leader, it was something we dreamed of being one day. Like, we wanted to be exactly like her. We wanted to be. And Bishop Fee and I, it gave us the opportunity to be that and to be those captains, those leaders as seniors. And that was really something special. So this past season, being a captain, I mean, we've learned a ton. Like, you're put into a leadership role, and it's something that we will take with us at Bentley and try to be the best leaders we can be on our new team as we learn new teammates and deal with new coaches. But to be a captain on the team that we were a part of, to be with the girls we were a part of, I mean, really being a captain was easy because each one of those kids, Betsy and I, like, very self-motivated people, but we are the first people to try to make everybody else around us better. We care about our teammates. We want their success as much or even more as our own success, right? So to be able to be a small piece in their journeys and to be that kid that we looked up to one day, to be that kid for other freshmen, sophomores, underclassmen, even juniors, just to be there, it was really special. So to be captains and be leaders on this team this year was something special.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can promise both you guys that young players on the team will be looking up to you guys as examples from that last year. You guys are both just so dominant at times. There'd be times where you guys would be up 8 goals. And I'm saying to the mic, and that's the first non-Norko goal. Like that blew my mind. You guys would both have hat tricks before any of the other teams has scored, like, at all. Yeah. It's just so impressive seeing that type of stuff. So what would you say that captainship has been from your side, Betsy?
Yeah, so I definitely agree with everything Kristy said. Like, you get to learn, which is kind of cool. Like, everyone has, like, their own idea of what leadership is. And I know that everyone goes about it a different way. And I think we've both been lucky enough to just have a leadership personality. So it never felt unnatural. It never felt forced. It never felt, all right, this is this title, now how do I do it? It was always like, I'm going to be me and keep doing what I do because I think that's what best resembles it. So that was, from that side, it was great. And then from also, like, learning and leading on the field, like you said, like, there were games where you're like, oh, wow, the Norkos have done all the scoring so far. Like, it was cool to be able to be a captain and be like, and also have the opportunity to be like, all right, the offense is going to run through me, which was kind of cool. And it was like, all right, so we're going to do this, this, and that, or let's use this strength and this weakness and let's make it to be our offense and let's run it and let's do it the right way. And so it was kind of cool to, like, be able to lead the team that way, offensively and defensively, personally, in the weight room, like, everything. Like, it was cool to be able to do that. Do you have a thing?
Sorry, yeah, she inspired me, actually. In one part that I almost forgot about, being a captain is your opinion being so valued. Your opinion's valued by your teammates. It's valued by your coaches. And you almost get to be a secondary coach, right? Yeah. So you almost get to be a secondary coach, and that kind of has been eye-opening and inspiring in a way. And I think that it's something that, when all said and done, hopefully we'll both pursue in our futures in terms of coaching. I mean, we're coaching now, obviously, throughout the summer through our club, but it's something that you find a new appreciation for the game. You get a better lax IQ, and that has been an awesome stepping stone into seeing, like, as a captain, this leadership, this almost coaching kind of role can influence your future and hopefully give you inspiration to do something.
Yeah, definitely.
Because of the interest you guys showed for a second when we were talking about the captainship, I was about to ask, do you guys plan on coaching in the future? I'm happy you already answered that question. That's really cool
definitely. Yeah, we talk about it. You know, I was joking, like, something we love. Like, I love, like, just, it's something, like, I think about it this way, like, I get to give back what I've learned, which is a really cool thing, and, like, and do it with a thing I love. It's, like, doesn't feel like a job. So, like, I definitely want to, but, you know. So I always joke with Kristy. It's like, all right, we'll go to Bentley, get whatever business degree we get. I'll go be a CEO. She'll be my second man, and we'll run a great, huge business, retire early or figure out a way, or even do a club program at the same time and coach and do both. And then I'll get best of both worlds. I get some money and I get to do what I love at the same time.
Yeah, you got a little bit of everything.
Exactly.
Perfectly, yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, no, so I was just going to say too, like, back to the captain thing, like, we've also been lucky to have a great group of girls on that team and, like, a great co-captain with Livy, and where it never felt like, all right, like, we gotta figure out how to deal with X, Y, and Z other factors too. Like, we were there to play lacrosse, which was cool, and like, I don't know, it was special. It was definitely special, and it was a special year in all. Like, I know everyone has their own relationships with captains or what people have given them throughout their years. Like, I remember looking up to kids my freshman year, and I know people do the same no matter where you are. And it's pretty cool that I was able to do that, look at last year's captains, figure out what role I could play then off of that, and everything. And I do think that, like, the way you play and the way you do as a team relates off the people that you're with. And one of the major people that I've been lucky enough to be with my whole life is Kristy, and that's definitely made me the player who I am today. And I remember we actually had our banquet before the end of the season, but we got to speak, and that was one of the things I said. There's no doubt in my mind I would not be the player I am today without her. There's no chance. Like, that's the reason I am able to score or be on the producing end of the offense is because of her. She sets me up and helps me with everything I do. And that's the part that people don't see with a stat book or a stat line, or people that don't totally understand the game see, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, one thing that's really nice about you having a twin sister like that is when people look at themselves, they'll sometimes view themselves as kind of that flawed light. They might view themselves just fully biased in the wrong direction, or they'll view themselves as just not good enough when they are good enough. Having that twin gives you a really good reality check of, wow, that person's great. They're awesome. They put in a lot of work. Then you realize, I've done most of the same stuff that they have. We both have put in a lot of work to get where we are. We've earned this.
Yeah.
And also, you have that competitive drive behind that. On top of being siblings, you guys want to get better each day. You guys are going against each other. You guys are almost the exact same height and weight and stuff like that. You guys are twins. That's how it works. The whole thing about being identical twins.
Exactly.
But you guys, there's a lot of times where there will be a girl who's like 5'2" on a basketball team. She's comparing herself to the 6-footer who's playing center right there, and she wants to take her job. You guys are comparing yourselves to each other. So it's actually in reality that you're comparing yourselves. It's something where you can keep getting better and better every day. And if you keep doing that, you will just reach unbelievable heights like you guys already have.
Yeah, which is pretty cool. Do you want to speak at all to it?
I mean, I think, of course, Betsy, saying my impact on her, her impact on me goes the exact same way. I mean, neither of us would be the people we are without each other. I mean, that drive, that competitiveness, we are nonstop working towards our goals every single day, but to have somebody with you every step of the way to push you is the difference maker. I mean, everybody, it's so easy for somebody to be like, oh, it's like the classic one. It's like, oh, I'll start my diet on Monday, right? and that Monday never comes, right? So, but here's the thing: when you have somebody who is holding you accountable every single day, every second of your life, you want to be better. You want to push yourself because they see the potential that you hold, and you at the same time see their potential. So I mean, to have that privilege, that honor, to have somebody push you every single day is just awesome.
Yeah, I think one massive thing, too, is every sibling wants the best for their sibling. And a lot of the times that's not actually able to be acted upon too much because that older sibling will get older, go to college, move away, and not spend as much time. Yeah. You guys are the exact same age, so you have the exact same ideologies of those older and younger siblings of wanting their sibling to do as best as they can in life, get better, do good for themselves, but you can actually act on it. Yeah. You can tell your sister, like, hey, stop being lazy. Get up. Come run with me. Yeah. Something like that. You guys can look at each other and say, hey, you guys want to go practice outside for lacrosse? We need to get better. Exactly. And you guys will do it together because that's what you actually do. You're both in the same mindset, same exact sphere right now. You're in the right time of life to actually be helping each other. Yeah. And even when you guys move apart, because you had that lifeline throughout your entire life, you guys are still going to stay in contact like that. There's never going to be a point where you two are thinking, I wish I talked to my sister more. Yeah. It's going to be like, wow, I've been with my sister for so long. It was awesome. It was a great time.
Yeah, we were running joke that we will at one point live next to each other with a shared backyard with a pool, a turf field for our children to play at, and a weight room. So it's all worked out.
You guys need to somehow get just a pair of identical twins to marry to.
Exactly.
You have the same exact dog somehow from the same litter.
I don't know, Joe. I think that would be terrifying. I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if I can commit to it, but we'll see. We'll see. No promises yet, but I'm holding it open for you.
It could be worth it for the joke, but for the actual life quality, maybe not. But no. One thing you guys could answer from that, though, you could find out, will our kids look the exact same?
That's true. That is true.
You guys could answer the age-long question.
We could be the study that everybody's been wondering.
We could be a scientific. We could be famous on that. Yeah.
Or you guys could live your life. Or
you guys
can either do the really cool scientific experiment one, or you can just go do
hint. Yeah.
You know what? Bring them out. Bring them out.
Yeah, exactly.
Just bring us.
Joe, you got some candidates coming in?
Just like 20 sets of different
And here's
twins.
Joe's long-lost twin that no one knew about.
All right, guys. Please. Stop. But we are going to be taking our second break. We'll be back for our third and final segment of the show. This has been Betsy and Kristy Norko, the lacrosse phenoms, or phenomenons, I guess is what they'd be called, of this area. Okay, welcome back to episode 15 of the Jodas Hour. Betsy and Kristy Norko are here with me right now. We're going to hop right back into this during this year. Got to include a clip probably about right here.
Ladies and gentlemen at McGrath Stadium, you just witnessed history. That was goal 100 for Betsy Norko.
All right. Where it is me basically screaming into the mic as loud as I can that was goal number 100 for Betsy Norko, and the crowd just witnessed history in that stands. Also, if I try to find the 101 Dalmatians clip for the goal right after that.
Both of them were pretty good.
That might have been the better one.
If I had to take a guess, I'd say Betsy Norko's favorite movie is 101 Dalmatians as she scores her 101st goal.
Yeah, I kind of like the 101 Dalmatians clip a little more. The funniest thing, about 5 seconds after the 100th one, I had said on the double broadcast with Max, I'll find the clip of this. I looked down, I was like, Max, I'm a genius. I thought of what I'm saying for 101 already. If she gets this, I'm going to say it on the mic. Yeah, I guess we know what Betsy Norko's favorite movie is. 101 Dalmatians with her 101st goal. Yeah. And ended up being perfect. You know, Max, I'm actually really helping Betsy Norko get that 101 goal. I have the perfect thing to say for her, Max. Listen to this. I didn't know Betsy Norko was that big of a Disney fan, as she obviously loves 101 Dalmatians, 101 goals.
Wow.
I wanted to ask, in your mind, everyone was hyped up. Kristy walked up to me. She didn't realize, I at least from this conversation, didn't realize that you knew about the 100 goals coming up. Kristy told me that you were 4 away, and that if you hit those 4 goals, I need to freak out. Like, she specifically told me I need to go as insane as possible. Yeah. And the fact you hit 101 that day, that blew my mind. So you hit 5 goals that day. Yeah. But I didn't realize that you knew that you were going for 100 until right before the game, where you walked up to me too and you said, this might be 100 today. Yeah. And I was thinking, like, who spoiled it? Yeah. Who told her? It's supposed to be behind Kristy's secret. But that was so nice to see, because everyone, even Mrs. Smith, everyone came out just to support you guys. Yeah. And that was such a nice moment.
Special shout out to Mrs. Smith, shooter.
Very great.
The
Mrs.
balloons,
Smith.
everything, yeah.
Of course. Finding a way to include
Yeah.
Mrs. Smith and everything. She's
Exactly.
in the documentary. We're going to get her just
Exactly.
in everything possible.
Yeah.
One day when we make it on the big TVs, we're going to just look
She'll
at the screen.
remember us,
Just
yeah.
going to say, Mrs. Smith. And that's
Exactly. And that's all we need to say.
needs to be said.
Exactly. Not even going to try shoehorning it in or anything. Just going
Nah.
to say it blatantly
Yeah.
out there. Just Mrs. Smith.
Yeah.
That should work out good.
Exactly.
But I wanted to ask you guys, how did it feel to see that camaraderie of just that much support from the community, basically, for your team, for a specific goal that you had for reaching 100 goals?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was pretty cool. I know I was talking and it was all surreal because I didn't really think about it. Like, I never thought. I came in my junior year just losing a season to COVID. So sophomore year, nothing. Freshman year didn't go the way we wanted, and I think that kind of speaks. I'm going to detour for like maybe 2 minutes, but it speaks to who we are as lacrosse players. We came into Fian, eighth grade. Up till 8th grade, we played goalie. We had never played midfield. Was never on the defensive side from goalie, but never worked on that side of the game. And came in, we're like, all right, there's a goalie that's going to Lehigh, and then there's another girl that's going to be in front of us. And there's 2 of us. There's no way we can both play and contribute on this team. So we got to find another role. So we were like, all right, fine, we're going to go play midfield. And that's what we did. And we came in freshman year, and Vitelli was new to the program. And he told us the hardest but best thing that came and was like, I promise you guys will be remembered one day, and you'll be legends, and you'll be remembered. And these are his words. At this program, people are going to talk about you guys. But right now, varsity isn't your future for right now. It's not your freshman year. It's not going to happen right now. And to hear that, it was like, oh no, like how am I going to have all these goals and reach all these goals that I have for myself when I'm bumming it on JV? And that sounds bad, but that was what going through my head. And then I remember we played that season and did what we could and did all that. And then I remember the first thing I said to myself was, fine. If you want to light the fire, that's perfect. That's all. He was the gas to the fire. Fine. I'm going to do whatever I can to not now go be on varsity, but go start the next year. And that was our goal. Like, we were like, all right, field every day, push each other, weight room, on the field, whatever we had to do so that we could do that. And then COVID happened and we lost that whole other season too. And it felt like, all right, I just worked all that time, all that off season to go prove myself, and now that's gone. So now I'm lost 2 years in my high school season, and I know we can talk more about that other stuff in a couple minutes, and I'm like, I just got to do what I can do. And I was like, it was pretty cool to jump in junior year, first varsity start, played the entire game, and that it never ended from there. I was playing, doing my thing, which was awesome. I ended junior year having a great year, but we also had a bunch of other assets on the team, offensively, defensively, everything. So I was another one of those players, and then ending the season, I think I was at like 38 goals, right? Junior year, 1 year, 38. Perfect. 100 was not anywhere in my thoughts. Like, I was like, there's no way. Like, that's impossible. So I was like, perfect, we'll go on, keep moving forward. And I first thing was like, all right, I had 38 goals and 31 assists. Maybe I can go for the career points. So I was like, all right, we'll go for career points. And I remember I hit that, and that was pretty cool. We did it against North, which is where we're from. So it was a little town rivalry, which was kind of cool, kind of fun. And I was like, you know what do I have to lose? Like, let's just keep doing it. My team was behind me, which was great. It wasn't, all right, I'm going to go score 10 goals a game and just be my show. It was, so-and-so's going to set me up. So-and-so's going to feed me. I'm going to feed them. We're going to have a team camaraderie, which it was the way it worked out, which was pretty cool. And then to be able to actually hit that goal, which is insane. Like you said, like the community, everyone, like I know I'll never forget you saying it out onto the loudspeaker, like her 100th goal, like, and like just saying it, history being made, the 101 Dalmatian right after, like all that. Like, I just remember that game. I was so nervous. I was like, 4 goals. Like, it's not nothing I haven't done, but like the idea of doing it was just like, I'm going to miss it. Like, am I going to miss it? Am I going to get it? Am I going to get it? Like, I had 3 8-meters in a row and I missed all of them. I'm like, oh my God, I'm never going to get this. And then I remember too, like there's a picture, my dad takes pictures, and there's a picture of I score and Livy and Kristy just have both their hands in the air like this, jumping up, like so excited. Yeah, I'll send it. You can send it in the clip, right in there. And I just remember, like, it was just, like, I never expected everyone to like, gather around and be there for a moment that was not only so special for me, but they made it 10 times more special. And like you said earlier, like, Mrs. Smith and other kids were there too, like, holding balloons. And I was like, whoa, this is crazy. Like, everything just lined up. And then to happen on the revenge tour, like, it was like, that was one of the coolest games I'll never forget, which is really cool.
Yeah, this season kind of just fully worked as a storybook season.
Yeah.
It's something that doesn't seem like it actually happened from how many great moments there were in that.
Oh, 100%.
Even in the documentary, I got your 100th goal. I got a lot of that area on film. Obviously got the recording with Kristy after the Austin Prep game. That one was great. That was a great one. But also got a video. Tommy snuck in the documentary. I was not going to say this on live air. I might try editing the documentary before releasing this, but Tommy did sneak his way into the documentary. Yeah. He was walking by me, and I just said, hey, Tommy, you want to hop in this real quick? And I got a little video of him, so he's in there.
So cute, yeah.
So that's going to be cool to see. But no, having so much support is one of the most necessary things in life. Yeah. If you don't get any support for what you're actually putting your passion into, what you're putting your time into, you start to feel like it was meaningless. You start to feel like, am I working on this for myself, or am I working on this for something bigger?
Yeah. And
you don't know sometimes. When people are supporting you and actually giving you basically the flowers you deserve, that's how you realize, I want to keep doing this. I have a good time doing this.
Yeah.
Like, you guys put hours into lacrosse. You guys, more than hours. There's a thing where it's about 10,000 hours what it takes to master a skill.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be shocked if you guys got close to that. That's what's horrifying to think about. It was 4 years high school. Freshman year, you were on JV.
Yeah.
You had a clear, defined goal for next year. I want to start on varsity.
Yeah.
That season's wiped away. The amount of kids who would have thought, you know what, life is unfair. Life isn't fair right now. I'm not going to work on this anymore. I'm going to sit back. I'm going to lie down. I don't need lacrosse. It's not going to affect me that much. You guys kept working for that year, knowing that was a lost year. Kept working another year on top of that. Got to the point where you're 6th on the scoring list in Bishop Fee in history. And you guys won the CCL Cup against the same exact team that took it last year.
Yeah.
You really think that many people could actually do that type of stuff and not just have it be words that they said? It's not, we're going to do this. It's, we did this. It's not, we are going to work as a team or anything like that. We're going to just basically be a good team. And then on the side, they have just disgusting problems with each other. There's just so many problems, they can't have chemistry.
Yeah.
You guys, even if it's something personal between people, we'll put it to the back burner. You'll just start focusing on the game and playing lacrosse. You'll pass the ball. There's never going to be a point where you look at a girl with the ball, she's open, where you think, you know, she was mean to me. I'm not giving that to her.
Yeah.
Does she deserve the ball right now? It's going to be, oh, she's wide open. Yeah. I'm snapping that right to her.
Exactly.
Right away. There's going to be no real personal bias in any of the game when you do that. And I think that's what separates the good players from the great players. If you can focus purely on the game and appreciate it as an art, that's what makes it perfect. That's why you guys are going to be playing in college. Yeah. You're going to be doing amazing representing Bishop Fee.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome to see.
Yeah. We're excited, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, do you want to talk? I also was thinking, as we were talking about the next level going to Bentley, like, there's a whole process going into that. Like, you talked about, Fee and, like, we had to decide how losing our freshman and sophomore year and how that was going to affect our high school career, but then how that also affected our, like, playing in college career. So I'm going to pass it to Kristy and let her talk about that part.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it goes all back to being on JV freshman year and then having, which that was a tough enough pill to swallow, but then coming across and I'll never forget, as it was in March when it started shutting down, and actually, ironically enough, I was clearing out my email a couple days ago, and I'm looking through my email, and I have an email from Coach Telly, and it was about the next steps, right? And this was when the first time when Governor Baker or whatever, he made the announcement, like, this is possibly a new start date for your season, and just reading that and thinking, like, of the what ifs, right? So being on JV freshman year and working your butt off for that season that never came, and that not only affected, as we're talking about, our high school career, but the college career. As freshman and sophomore, especially sophomore summer going into your junior year, because once September 1st of your junior year hits, that's when you could start talking to coaches Division I. And I'm sorry. And so once that date hits, that's a big day. So going into that sophomore season completely cut short, and then it became like every opportunity to prove yourself that summer following your sophomore year became the chance for your college career to start. And I can speak for the entire 2022 class, and the idea that you felt like you were done unjustly by the whole process. I mean, most people had the opportunities to get recruited during that time period, to have that sophomore season. That's going to be a big season in terms of stats and film for coaches to watch, and thousands of athletes got that stripped away from them. So to go in, and then you don't know what that September 1st is going to look like for you, and in the uncertainty of the college process, and we got looks at from right from September 1st. We got looks at from Division I colleges, and they didn't pan out. They weren't our fit, and then it felt like it became rejection after rejection, and that's a hard part of the process that not a lot of people want to talk about. And being kids who've been through that helped us as leaders again, and we're helping our teammates who are going through the same thing. But going through that rejection over and over again, and it felt like forever, and then you feel like the junior season finally comes and you prove yourself, and where do you sit, and trying to find that right fit academically and athletically, and then finally to be able to, for us, which came a lot later than most, in August, to commit to Bentley. It was one of the biggest rewarding parts of all our hard work paying off finally. But with that being said, it's only the beginning. We got a long way to go. So, but yeah, that college process was definitely not an easy one. It definitely is one that needs to be brought to light in terms of the way people and athletes are hard on themselves and treated throughout the process. But it was a difficult one for sure.
No, I'm really happy you guys chose to talk about the college process, because from every athlete I've heard talk about this, and every person, honestly, just as a citizen, I've heard talk about this, not even athletes, I think between about now and about 2 years from now is going to be the largest amounts of divisional transfers for sports, like D1 to D2 to D3, because the scouting process was inhibited. Yeah. It was not done correctly. Exactly. There will be the most movement between those, but also the most amount of transfers between schools, just purely because of the fact that so many schools, their list were so long with applicants, and they couldn't accept all of them. But they are going to accept the ones who try transferring after, and that's going to cause a lot of movement throughout these colleges. Most people who are at a certain college right now, they're probably going to stick there. But there's going to be, if I had to guess, probably about 15% transfer each year from like each college.
Yeah.
Guessing that could go up to like 25 to 30 now.
100.
Like I would not be shocked at all if it's doubled.
Right. And I mean, you see it. Obviously, it's a lot easier to hear in terms of when you watch ESPN. It's a lot easier to hear in terms of college football, just because college football is so big. Yeah. But I mean, even you see the transfer portal is bigger than ever, and that's no secret that it's happening in every single sport. So it'll be interesting to see how it shakes out. But definitely a lot of changes in the future, and hopefully more light will be shed on the whole college process in itself, not just for athletes, but also just for students as well.
Yeah, hopefully there's some type of reform in the future for that type of stuff, because it is a bit outdated. Yeah. So
you hear the good, not the truth.
Yeah, sometimes. That's very true. You hear the top 1% best stories. Exactly. Because no one wants to hear the 99%. No one wants to hear what happens to everyone else. Like being realistic. Yeah. So before we end this, gonna end this on a little bit of a positive note. Yeah. Kind of realize we started dragging it down to the depths. It's okay though, but at least we didn't get existential this one. Exactly. The last one. And the one I did with Mr. O'Brien for my last day before graduation, it just turned to existential dread throughout half. I can't even lie. Got very deep at certain points. Started getting like philosophical. I realized like I'm with Mr. O'Brien right now. Yeah, I kind of forgot I was in Bishop Ian right now. My God,
where am I?
Yeah, came out of a blackout from 20 minutes ago. What happened here? But now, would you guys want to end off this? Because we're about at 35 minutes now. We've actually got a really long, good episode. Thought that we were a little bit stuck behind because of the corruption, but now we're good. We're good. We made it through.
That's what we do.
Yeah, exactly. The Norkos will never not come through. Every single time they've come through for me. So would you guys want to give some final shout-outs to the crowd, to the audience? Yeah. Just shout-outs to anyone who's helped you get this far in life.
All right, I'm going to start with like a huge shout-out. And then I'll go with our like basic, generic shout-outs. Yeah. But a definite big shout-out, I think, which has made our high school lacrosse career so special these past 2 years is Joe right here. I know like everyone will say it, but like it's true. Like there's no way, like, I think I realized too, like, our last game not being a home game, like, you just bring this great presence to our team, which, like, no one can explain. Like, and I'm, like, telling people, well, we have this great guy that, like, you know, announces, like, he's Joe. Like, that's what I say. Like, I'm like, it's Joe. Like, there's nothing else to say because that one word, like, it just encapsulates it all. Like, it's so special to have someone that cares so much about the sport and the team to announce and bring us, like, a whole different perspective inside to the game, which is so fun. And to give us all these opportunities to talk here today and just to talk in general and be able to have a perspective of someone who's so driven and, like, cares about what the other side of sports is. Not everyone's an athlete. So to be able to see what it's like to be behind the mic and to be able to show your appreciation and love for the sports and give it back to the people who play and the people who get to watch is just so cool and so fun to have. I know you want to talk too about it, so.
I mean, I couldn't leave here without shouting out Joe Des. Obviously. I mean, it's crazy to think, which I guess we're blessed in the sense of, like, being on JV freshman year and then having COVID. I can't imagine going through a varsity lacrosse game, a home game, at McGrath Stadium without Joe announcing. I mean, like, everything from the energy, like, on the mic when goals are scored, but it's just awesome to go ahead and watch, like, our live stream film over again, your stuff on Spotify and YouTube in terms of, like, your what's the word, game, play-by-play. Yes, thank you. Play-by-play of the game, like, it's awesome to listen to, like, and one of those moments I'll never forget is it was one of our first games in Mansfield, and Betsy, I mean, had like 6 goals by this point, and we're redefending, and the goalie has the ball at, like, we're redefending, whatever. Somebody has the ball behind outside of the net, whether it was the goalie or a defender, and it was all right. So the goalie has the ball, and I'm in my redefend back, and I'm like, oh, this goalie's gonna throw it to this girl right here, perfect. So I jumped the pass by the goalie, picked it off, threw a little fake, and just tossed it in the back of the net. And Joe is announcing, and he gets so crazy. He's like, I think that's another Norko goal by Betsy Norko. And then he realizes it's me, and he's like, wait, oh my God, Kristy Norko's adding in the scoring. Kristy Norko, that goal. And just, like, the joy and the enthusiasm from you as an announcer, it simulates, and it's like, it resembles exactly that joy and enthusiasm that we have on the field. And to be able to see that somebody behind the mic can be able to do that, it's like, what you bring in terms of broadcasting sports is what every individual wants, that enthusiasm in their household on television, and that's what this kid's going to do in the future.
No, exactly. And, like, for me specifically, like, I know we talked about the 100 goal, like, and that was super monumentous, but, like, that's going to be what I remember. It's going to be, like, every time if someone says it, or, like, I think about it, or I tell, like, my kids about it or something, it's like that, like, voice is going to go through my head of what you said, and it's like, it's super cool to have that. So the whole team can't thank you enough, but I know we can't thank you enough.
Thank you guys so much. There was a bit where I had no clue what I wanted to do with my future. I was gonna shoehorn myself into one, like the basic ones, like economics or business. I didn't want to ever do anything like that. Was the thing. You guys just welcomed me with open arms into your team. I could have gone into that first season. This was before me having confidence. This was before me having the business cards even. Right. Walked into that season. You guys were so nice to me every single day. You'd walk in, Joe, what's going on? Like, every single time I walked up there. I wasn't even that personable of a kid. I wouldn't even say hi sometimes. You guys would, hey, what's going on? Like, how are you doing? Like, it's going to be a great game today. It was awesome. Yeah. You guys would start conversation. Yeah. And that helped me get the connection to the team where it was, I want these people to succeed with everything in my body. Like, I don't want them to be stuck not succeeding where they want to. Yeah. And you guys came through and did everything that you possibly could. And that's why I remember – this is actually bringing a lot back right now. I remember right after the Austin Prep game, the amount of tears on every girl's face on that team. And seeing a girl cry is one of the saddest things. Like it makes you just feel terrible. You don't see guys cry that much. I don't see my friends cry when we lose something. That just doesn't happen. Yeah. And I saw all of you who had been so strong and so nice to me the entire season just broken after that. I felt terrible. Yeah. I was driving home like, I don't want to see that again. And seeing you guys just so happy and succeeding, It genuinely made me as happy as it possibly could have been. When you guys were just working as a team, blowing out teams, even in the close games where you guys would come back and win, I'd leave that just so happy every single time. Even in the small losses, they were tiny. They weren't that big. You guys handled them maturely.
Right.
You guys were fully fine after them. It was a full 180 from what happened after that Austin Prep game. And if that didn't happen, I don't know what you guys would have been like this year.
Yeah.
Your whole mindset was just shifted to we're going to win this. Yeah. And you did. You guys did a great job.
It's true. Yeah. It was definitely fun. Like you said, you said it earlier, it's not we're going to do this. It's we did that. And to look back, it's I know our season just kind of ended, so it's there's a lot to still unravel and even your career, but it's those are the things, like you said, those are the things that come right to mind because it's so unreal and it's just so cool. And again, you talk about thank yous, there's no way that I would have personal goals or team would have personal goals if we didn't have the girls. From the second we walked in freshman year, the upperclassmen to show us the way and even the kids that fed me the ball, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Everyone played a role, of where we are. And I know, I said it, I don't know if I said it to everyone, but the reason I hit the goals or, the goal mark or the point mark or the MVPs or whatever was because I had a group of girls around me that made it possible, which is cool, too.
Yeah, and those girls obviously are just proud of what they saw.
Yeah, I mean, we can't not do a thank you without thanking our team. As Betsy said, from every single person we've been a part of every single year, from our 4 years, and then obviously the freshmen now, every single class that has been a part of the journey with us at FIAN, we cannot thank them enough. Everybody's impacted us. I mean, I hope we can impact them or impacted them the same way. And then obviously we've said it multiple times in this interview, you got to shout out Livy Brennan, co-cap. I mean, everything Livy did to completely change her position and become a midfielder with us, something special. It's something that bond as a midfielder group, who never came off the field, we'll never forget. And without Livy, a lot of stuff as captains, as players, just people, would not be the same. And then, obviously, family, Jack and Nick, our brothers, mom and dad. But we can't thank our family, our teammates, our coaches, Coach Telly, Coach Bill, Coach K, and obviously our club coaches at Gold Star and our club teammates at Gold Star. They've all impacted us to the way we are as athletes and people to this day. And without them, I don't know where we'd be.
Yeah, no, yeah, definitely. And you talk about coaches, team, all that, huge role. Kristy mentioned our family too, our parents, everything that they've done to make us the athletes we are. Our brothers, who you think we make each other competitive, they have thrown me downstairs, thrown me everywhere, done it. They have also played a huge role. And then, like you said, you have all those people. And then, like we talked about earlier, you have the supporters who are on the outside, which really come in, whether, like we said, Mrs. Smith, the fans, everyone. It's just it makes it all so surreal. And to actually be I remember she'd reached out a couple times. When she sent pictures from the Dawson Prep game or whatever, and she's like a monumentous day, a day you'll never forget. And it's it's cool to have someone that cares like that to capture those moments for everyone else, which is pretty cool.
No, that's very true. Having people support like that, it just makes it so much better.
Exactly.
So are there any final shout-outs you'd like to give before we wrap this up?
Well, obviously, shout out to all our parents from the team, but especially Mrs. Smith, the math teacher, but Mrs. Smith, Sydney Smith's mom, and Mrs. Bonakorski, sweetest people ever, have been by mine and Betsy's side, every single day. And I couldn't stop without shouting them out. They're so supportive of our team. Mrs. Smith is always tweeting about our team. She's so proud to be a parent of a girl on the FIAN lacrosse team. And then Mrs. Bonakorski is just always super supportive as well. And I'm so glad she sent Sam to FIAN.
Yeah. Other than that, I think that kind of does it. My biggest shout out obviously went to Joe, and then and we went down the line from there. But other than that, can't think, even if it wasn't mentioned, so many people that have impacted our career and will continue to impact, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. All the parents you guys mentioned, I'm so happy about that. Ms. Smith, the math teacher, Ms. Smith, the lacrosse parent, Ms. Tattori also would like to give a final shout out.
Yes.
Ms. Tattori has been awesome.
How could we forget?
And Mr. Norko, you are one of the main reasons that we can have these two girls in today. Thank you so much for watching episode 15 of the Jodas Hour. This was Betsy and Kristy Norko. Check out their careers at Bentley for lacrosse.
Yeah.